Disruption Networks.
You would think after like how many days I've been stuck in this house, I can figure out how to do this on like social media, and I can't figure any of this crap out. I don't get it. I play like I am so technology advanced, and I like got it going on, but I really don't. I just make it look good on this podcast, I guess. What's up, everybody? It's Disruption Network. We're live from my house and from Justin's house and from Jose's house. It is Local Music Mondays. Something my man Justin Smithson came up with like last week, right? Isn't that what we were talking about doing this like last week?
Well, yeah.
So Justin and I are going to get together on Mondays, and we're going to talk to many different local musicians and whatnot, and it's going to go down every Monday. And we will get to our guests in just 1 second. Figured you go fishing right to the closest pond, of course.
Absolutely.
And gather out the big fish in the Showtime pond. But before we get into Jose, I got to give love and respect out to EJA Moving Services, Utica Hemp, Utica Coffee, Saranac Brewery, and of course my good friend, attorney Dave Longaretta, for sponsoring the D and helping us along through these quarantine times and universe house arrest, as I like to refer to it. So, Justin Smithson, you are my co-host. Introduce our guest, brother.
What is up, everybody? We have Jose Lopez from the band Showtime, bass player.
How you
Also
doing?
the,
What's going on,
many
everybody?
lead singers.
Jose Lopez. Jose, you should have been in like the WWE back in the day, I felt like. You would have made a good wrestler.
I would have fit right in. They would have had to come up with some sort of gimmick for me, though, because most of the little Hispanics they had in there back then were all the little high flyers and stuff like that.
You got a good wrestling voice.
When someone says, "Come meet my friend Jose Lopez," they don't expect a 6'2", 350-pounder to walk through the door.
You got the good wrestling voice, though, man. Like you could have had.
He
that.
does.
You know what I mean? You got that.
Oh yeah, that would have been good. They could have called me something like, Jabba the Hutt or something.
You could have been the Spanish Gorilla Monsoon, bro.
Absolutely. I'm in.
That would have been you for sure.
Absolutely.
I would have done one match. That's it. I would have won it, just so you know, and then I would have gone right over to the announcer's table and been there the rest of the time. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
You do got the golden voice, bro. You do.
It does.
I've always been told I have a face for radio.
Yeah. Did you do any radio?
Back in college, I did a couple radio shows. I did a couple voiceovers, things like that. Nothing regularly or anything. It was all by invite like this. And over the years, it's popped up. I remember I was sitting at a bar one time at Glory Days down in Herkimer, if anyone remembers Glory Days.
Glory Days.
And we're sitting there watching some sporting event, and I'm rattling with some of the guys, and we're talking about whatever. And there was a guy a couple seats down from us. He wasn't involved in the conversation at all. And he goes, I got to chime in here if you don't mind. He goes, I've been listening to you talk for a few minutes. And he said, you have a great voice for sports. And you seem to be fairly knowledgeable. He goes, I really appreciated just listening to you. And I go, oh, geez, thanks, man. And then he stole my wallet and left. So, No, but it's been mentioned once in a while, So yeah, I'm happy. It's cool.
When did the first time you guys met?
Oh, okay. I didn't realize
you want to tell this story? You want me to tell this story?
History. We were in high school. It was 1994. We were both in a musical, believe it or not, called The Sound of Music at Ilion High School. And I could say Ilion High School because it doesn't exist anymore. And I had been cast as...
We're that old.
I had been cast as Captain Von Trapp, which is just a joke in itself. I mean, come on, And Justin had been cast as Friedrich, one of my kids. And I know, right? He looks just like me, doesn't he? So So no, this whole thing is a joke. It's not a joke. It's serious. And yeah, that's how we met. That's how we met. He had been cast in the musical that way, and I had to bring a guitar to school because there was a couple scenes where they needed an acoustic guitar and stuff. Justin was backstage and he asked if he could play a little bit, and I sure here. And the kid was 13. He was 13 at the time, and he just started playing like Stairway to Heaven and a lot of these classic rock type tunes. And I'm like, hey, good stuff, you know. And I asked him if he wanted to come. At the time, Joe Rossi, my cousin Joey, and we were already jamming with some guys. And I asked Justin if he wanted to come up and jam with us. And he said, sure, you know, and he did a couple times. Then we were invited to play at a benefit, and it was like a day or two away. We were invited to play at a benefit. Said, you guys want to jam a couple songs at this benefit? Maybe looking for a band to jump in, play a few tunes, along with the other bands that were already booked. And we said, sure. So Joe and Justin and I went up to the practice room. We put together a 4-song little set, and which consisted of like classic rock stuff, like, you know, Take It Easy by the Eagles, and you know, Brown Eyed Girl, stuff like that. And
Stairway to Heaven.
Stairway to Heaven. We went in, we jammed 4 songs. And you know, Justin was 13, Joe was 14, I was 15, something like that. And that was how it started. That was how we got going.
All from that benefit, huh?
Yeah.
That was.
Yeah, we ended up getting a lot of opening gigs from that benefit. There were mainly from a couple of the bands that had played that benefit with us. You know, after they heard us, you know, it was almost like a shtick at first, because like, you know, here's all these young kids, and we were playing like classic rock, and like we even started getting into like 50s and 60s music and stuff. And you know, anytime that, even in the 90s, you see, you know, 3 young kids get up on stage, you think they're going to play like heavy metal, and you know, everything's going to be like that. And, you know, we're opening up with Brown Eyed Girl, and they're like, what? You know, and so it was almost a shtick in the beginning, and it got fans for these bands that were having us open up for them. And you know, after a while, we finally realized that, you know, we just needed 40 songs. We could do it on our own. So we woodshedded big time.
Were you guys that band in high school that was playing gigs at night and then going to school the next day? Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Were all the kids jealous, or were they breaking your balls about it?
They were pricks.
They were pricks about it?
Yeah, they were pricks. They were pricks. I mean, now it was
not
tough
everyone.
because not everyone, but most of them. They were there. A lot of them were pricks. I was along with being in a band, I was also an athlete, and so whether I wanted to socialize with those people or not, you were just sort of forced to. So, you know, they'd say stuff to you like, you know, they'd have a party on the weekend or something like that, and of course we were always booked. We were playing. Oh, sure. So everybody had a great time at this party. Why weren't you there, kind of thing? And it was like, well, you know, I had a gig, kind of, you know, and you had a gig, huh? You know, that kind. Don't bust my chops. Of course, I was also, you know, probably the only 15-year-old kid to roll into school at the end of the weekend with, you know, $300-400 in my pocket too, you know. But you know, and so yeah, I had a gig this weekend.
Yeah, how much money did your mom give you for lunch today?
You know, so
that's really what ended up happening. You know,
I had a gig and you got food, alcohol poisoning. Good, go for it. You know, but no, Justin's right. We did have a lot of people that supported us back then.
Oh, sure.
Our friends and peers that really thought what we were doing was really cool. And the level of commitment that we went into it right away with, it's the same level of commitment that we have now, that where we play all the time, every weekend. If we can play weekdays, we do. You know, basically Fridays and Saturdays, we always assume are always going to be booked with the band. And then, of course, as summer rolls around, spring, summer, things like that, you know, Wednesday, all week long, you know, we plan on a whole week of shows. So that started right away. That started right from the get. And we had a lot of support. Just going back for a second to, since we're talking about local music, to chime in and say here, Justin's right. When we played that benefit and started playing these, like, oh, can we open up for you guys? Can we play a set in between your guys' set, whatever? That helped us get into some of the clubs that we were going to eventually play. But those bands were bands, I don't know if you remember these bands, but bands like Looking Back, and The Alligators, and Time Out, and Stevie Rigo, and just a lot of different local bands, especially from down here in the valley where we're from, Ilion, Frankfort, Mohawk, Herkimer, down here in this area. And all of these bands, all these musicians really stepped up and took us under their wing and helped us out and helped us get into the clubs. A lot of these clubs wouldn't even take a look at us because we were so young. But if we went in there with another band and they let us open up for them, or maybe between their sets play a few songs, something like that, they heard us and they went, oh, geez, okay, these guys are pretty good. And we got gigs out of that, and we got recognition. So, we have to thank them until the end of our days for helping us get started.
Right.
Justin, is there any other bands that you remember from those days that you can give a shout out to?
From those days, I mean, Jose pretty much nailed every one of them. I remember Carmen Brickfield was another big one back then too. And as a matter of fact, we bounced around practice rooms. We started at the Marine Corps, Herkimer County Marine Corps, there on 2nd Street in Ilion, and which we ended up getting back to. Like, we would go practice somewhere else for a while, then we'd always end up back at the Marine Corps, which we still practice there today. But Carmen Brickfield was playing, and they offered us their room to play in and practice and rehearse. And, we borrowed their lights every once in a while, and just, they were really, really cool to us, coming in, and we owe a lot to those bands. Joey's dad, Uncle Joe, Papa Joe Rossi, he's known as on Facebook. He kind of, he was the one that called us for the benefit. So, it was, we owe a lot to a lot of these guys. So.
Yeah, for sure. There's a great music scene going on today too. And with this whole quarantine thing that's going down, and we're all stuck in our houses, everybody's playing out there. Justin's playing every night, which is great, by the way. Keep killing it, dude. You're shining. Keep killing it out there. But have you guys checked out anybody out there that's playing that, you guys don't normally get out there to check out a lot of these artists because you're always gigging. So who are some of the people you've been checking out virtually?
Go ahead, Oz.
Oh, well, you're right, because we don't usually get a chance to get out very much. But Matt Granger has been playing a lot on here. Frank Diskin. Yeah, Granger, my man. See, I got to hang with Granger because, a lot of big men. There's big men around here we need to hang. Yeah. Frank Diskin is out there playing a lot. Max Sheldon's playing a lot. It's funny, even I don't, let's not get into the discussion about who's professional and who's amateur and all that stuff. But I even like the fact that, just people who you don't even know might play are jumping on with the guitar. Buddy of mine from high school, CJ Vivacqua.
Yeah.
I've known CJ plays. I knew he played. I'm not saying I didn't know he played, but he hopped on there the other day and he played and he sounded freaking great. And it made me happy. I was like, that's awesome, because when we were friends in high school, he knew I was playing, but we were friends because of sports and stuff, so the music was a completely separate thing. So then, after high school and stuff, he got into guitar playing and singing, and then he put this nice post on here on Facebook, whatnot, about how to, to chime in and check out all the musicians and if you can, tip them, stuff like that, because, as much as you got people that are out there, filing for unemployment, you got people that have lost their jobs because of this whole thing. And, we know a lot of our musician friends out there, you can't, file for something like this. There's really no good way to say it, but, this is the way that they're going to try to keep afloat, and they have families and, bills and all that they got to deal with. So, if you're chiming in to listen to them, if you can, help them out, if you can, if that's, if you have that ability. Some are in better positions than others. That's all.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. How about you, Justin? Who are you checking out there on the social medias? There's a festival every day on social media with music.
Well, sure. And I'm doing my best. I guess the biggest thing that I could say, if you can't throw some money in their tip jar, the best thing you can do for these local musicians is to share what they're doing, share their videos, because when you share to your friends' page, to your page, and your friends who might not be friends with them can check them out. And so every single day, if I scroll through my news feed, if I see somebody that's performing live, bam, I'm hitting the share button, because I want, people that I'm friends with to be able to check these guys out. And, I guess if there's a silver lining or a positive thing to come out of this, is the fact that I get to watch these guys play for once, because we're always busy. So it's tough for me to get out and see these bands play. I obviously it's a lot easier for guitar players to go out. I mean, Jose, it's tough for you as a bass player. I mean, I guess, you know how to play keyboards a little bit. You could, if you wanted to, play some piano and sing a little bit and go live if you wanted to. But, it's tough for a bass player or a drummer to go live solo, because there's nothing really, unless they do tracks or whatever. But Joe, our drummer, he just posted on Facebook today. He's offering drum lessons via Zoom and Skype and stuff like that. So, hit these guys up. I mean, if you ever wanted to learn how to play drums or learn how to play guitar, hit these guys up. Be like, hey, I'm here. I'm willing to do this, and these guys want to stay busy. That's the whole thing.
You want to learn from Joe Rossi because that guy's a freaking clock.
Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely a machine. That's for sure.
Set your watch. Set your watch.
Yeah,
that's it.
But I mean, if I didn't, right. I didn't give any names, but I'll toss them out there. I mean, Gary Johnson, obviously, he's been doing this live thing even before the quarantine happened. So I mean, he already knew what he was doing, and I always got to give a shout out to my boy Isaac French, man. That dude is insanely good, and Tim Moyer's been on just goofing around and stuff. Like he's having his daughter video him because she's annoyed by him usually all the time, and then Jeff Moyer pops on and he makes fun of him, and it's just all in good fun. But I mean, it's entertainment, and it's something different every time. You know what I mean? And then you got Jeff and Molly that are going on, and they're having all the proceeds donate so people who are feeding the homeless and feeding people that can't eat. I mean, these are the things we're all coming together during this horrible time and making sure that everybody in our community can survive this.
Exactly. Everybody's taking care of everybody. And that's what I love about this community.
Yeah. Try to get together, try to help people as much as you can.
Yeah. Yep. Even if it's virtual. I mean, usually this community does a fantastic job getting together, physically when we have to. But I mean, in this time we can't get together physically. So, pop on Facebook, pop on Instagram, see what's going on. I know it's hard. Try not to pay attention to the bad news. I mean, there's already been a ton of people that have recovered from this, and focus on that. Focus on watching these people, in your area that are doing great things, and support,
Support. Right now, I'd like to give a shout out to everybody that supported us too in supporting our Venmo account. I mean, such a great giving community, and I've got a lot of great friends, and it's good that we have this awesome circle of people that we can lean on and trust and do great things together. And we continue to do great things together, especially when we get out of these freaking houses, Yeah. Yeah, it was supposed to be baseball season. We were supposed to talk Yankees right now.
Dude, don't even. Oh, I am so March Madness. I missed March Madness, man.
Right.
Oh, it's breaking my heart. I mean, listen, I realize it's a lot of people, it's just they're just sports. That it's not just anything. These things are markers. March Madness is, besides the joy of watching the games and stuff, it marks a certain time of year. It tells you spring's on its way. It reminds you of the baseball season opening day should have been the 26th a couple days ago. That's, to me, that's always a marker. It's like, here it comes. Here comes the sun, baby. It's not, you don't even have to like sports to be happy that sports and different events and things are happening, because it might mean something else to you. But the fact of the matter is, man, is that, it would also help a lot of people in this time when we are, distancing ourselves from community and quarantining and self-quarantining, all these different things. Television is really having a lot of issues with programming right now because they expected to have March Madness, the NBA playoffs and championship, baseball season starting, the NFL draft, all of these things, the NHL, excuse me, as well, soccer,
NHL
everything.
playoffs.
NHL. I mean, and obviously, one of the things for me being a big soccer person, that really tells you how worldwide this thing is. If you're not paying attention to the news and to what's going on in Italy and everywhere else, God bless them. But when they're canceling the Premier League and La Liga and over there, when you're canceling, that's their world. Soccer, football, their world over there, man. And they just announced today that a bunch of these guys are taking huge pay cuts, so that when they do come back, it's not going to put their league and their teams in financial jeopardy. Players like Lionel Messi, who's arguably one of the best in the world, and they're taking like a 70% pay cut in order to come out of this and be able to play again. They just want to play. These guys want to play. These guys, now you got to remember, some of these guys are getting a little long in the tooth when it comes to their sport. And some of these guys, I don't know if you saw the Vince Carter thing. You see the Vince Carter thing? Vince Carter was played this year for the Atlanta Hawks.
65 years old.
Yeah, 133 years old. He started with John Wooden.
Right.
No, I'm kidding. But he was in a game against the Knicks, my team, the Knicks, who stink, but they were in a game against the Knicks. It was that night that it was announced that there was going to be a pause in the season after that night. With 12 seconds, I think, left in the game, they said this could be. Vince Carter had already announced his retirement this season, was going through the paces, and with 12 seconds left in the game, they put him in the game, and they dribbled up the court, they handed him the ball, and they cleared out. He threw up a 3-pointer, just boom, and it went in. It went
Nice.
in. I mean, now obviously that's is that the way he wanted to end his career? Absolutely not. But but if that's the last time we see him as an athlete, as a player, as knowing his great career that he had and things like that, it's bittersweet. It was good to see it, but it's bittersweet. It's got a sadness to it too.
It could be happening with the Yankees too if the season gets canceled. I mean, Brett Gardner, I don't know. I think it was signed for 2 years, right?
I don't know off the top.
I'm not sure, 1 or 2 years, but
thought he was coming back to a 1-year deal.
Yeah, I think it's a couple years. Yeah, either way, I mean, it's like, guys like that. I mean, what happens to them? What happens to them, to these guys who are just a little bit older, and they might have 1 or 2 years left in their career, and now, I mean, like, we might not ever see Brett Gardner play again, and that's like crazy after the season he had last year.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, either one of you guys go down the Tiger King rabbit hole yet?
Not yet.
My God. Oh my Lord. Wow.
Yeah.
Woo. I could not listen. I saw the people posting about it, and I'm like, listen, I'll chime in. Now, the reason I started watching it and I did finish it, was because my wife and we started watching on Netflix Grey's Anatomy. We started watching Grey's Anatomy together, and she was working all last week. She's now out of work, but she was working all last week. So when she was at work, I couldn't watch it. I couldn't watch Grey's without her. So I had to find something to watch in the couple hours, maybe a day, that I was able to sit down and watch TV. So I fired it up. Oh my God. Yeah, I tell you, just when you think it's gotten to its craziest point, it blows up again. I mean, talk about you should don't let kids watch it, but it's got a little something for everybody in there. Oh my Lord. That
What
is
about you?
absolutely...
Did you watch it yet?
Yeah, I went down that rabbit hole this weekend and finished it up this morning. I'm not going to give anything away, Justin. You just have to see it.
Yeah.
My wife said she watched it.
It's like,
so.
It's like Jerry Springer reality show type of thing.
Sure,
you can't
steroids.
make this shit up.
On steroids. It's Jerry Springer on steroids, bro.
No doubt.
It's going slow moving train wreck, and you just got to stand and watch. Each time you think it's gotten to the point where you're like, okay, well, that's got to be the craziest thing that happens. Then something else happens, and you're like, okay, I think I need to start drinking just to deal with this. Holy crap. But hey, Z, last time I saw you was at an antique show at the Stanley. And I just wanted to bring my friend into the picture here. This is my little friend. I picked him up. I picked him up at the end. Look at the old man.
That's
Isn't
a great
that
pipe.
nice? That's a great pipe. That's wonderful.
I think that might have been the last time I saw you before we did the thing on the D Network there at the Stanley.
He and I have had some good times already. Hi, how you guys doing? So I just
do you name him? Did you name him?
No, you know what? Nah. And if I did, this guy would be Hemingway. He's got a little bit of a Hemingway vibe to him,
For sure.
So, but yeah, Hemingway. But no, I don't name. I've got a few over here. So, but I don't smoke though. It's just for the effect. It's the smoke machine. Just the smoke machine effect.
For the fog machine, for the fogger.
Yeah. Coming out of the mist.
Hey, with everybody being on lockdown, you guys going to come up with maybe Justin, you can write something out of this, or you got any creative things stewing up for you?
I've been trying to, write a little bit, but I can't jump on that bandwagon of using the coronavirus in a song. It's not once the Knack did My Corona, I was like, no, I'm good.
Yeah. When I heard Neil Diamond do the Sweet Corona,
hands washing hands. God,
that's when I heard
that's
that
out there.
Yeah,
it's him doing it.
It's Neil sitting in front of a fireplace at his house or whatever. And I mean, listen, I'm gonna put it out there, and if there's any Neil fans out there, I'm sorry. The guy's a great songwriter, wonderful songwriter. But if I never heard him sing again, that'd be fine by me.
Doesn't he have like dementia or something, or Alzheimer's, or isn't he?
I don't know.
He's got something.
Something.
He might, but he seems to be sharp as a tack in the video he posted. I'll tell you that. So God bless him. Because he ain't no spring chicken either.
Right.
So, but So no, I can't. I agree with Justin. I can't do the Corona based thing. I mean, how about a song about people coming together in tough times? Sure. How about a song
behind that?
How about a song about overcoming difficult situations, kind of thing? Things like that. Those are the kind of songs that should be coming out of this.
I'm feeling it from you, brother. Come on, give it to me.
I haven't written anything.
Well, you better get writing lyrics, because I suck at that. I can't write lyrics to save my life.
I'm just saying, it's a powerful situation when you have the whole world dealing with the same thing. That's not usually the case. A lot of times, different parts of the world can sit back and watch as other parts of the world, let's not use the word so harsh as suffer, but deal with tough situations. But to know that, from here to, Australia and all around the world, man, that we're all dealing with this stuff. It's the magnitude of it. It's as big as it'll ever get. It's as big as it'll ever be.
Right. We're just. I mean, I guess us as musicians just trying to do the best that we can to get through it. You know what I mean? And small business owners and podcasts. Everybody's trying to give everybody enough entertainment to get through. You know what I mean? And that's with no sports. I mean, where else can you turn to? Might as well watch your favorite local artist sing to you. You know what I mean? It's like your own personal concert every night.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Z, do me a favor and actually give
Yeah,
some
whatever
people
you
some entertainment stuff on here. Don't invite me on here again. That's a bunch of crap. You know, that's garbage. People don't want to look at this.
Well,
all
this
right?
is-
You'd
I
be
might just-
surprised out there.
I
Yeah,
should
right.
turn my screen off right now. Listen, I thank you for inviting me here today. You gave me an excuse to brush my teeth. You know, it's good, you know. But
Well, this
you know,
is like
it's-
a test through the Disruption Network, Jose. If we fail this test, we get canceled. So I mean, you know, it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
we had,
you
I
got
had to bring in the big
canceled.
guns.
You got canceled about 30 seconds in. People queued it up, saw me, and they were like, "All right, this is good." See ya.
We
Bye.
lost them when we started talking about wrestling.
Oh,
Yeah,
what?
exactly.
Get
yeah.
out of here. Get out of
No.
town.
No, we got a
No,
bunch of
that's-
people chiming in. You know, I can't read all the comments on my iPad for some reason, but there is a lot of people checking in.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of love getting thrown out there to all you guys. And Showtime, you guys definitely deserve it. You guys have been doing it for over 20 years. In my eyes, you guys are the best harmonizing band in all of Central New York. The
thanks,
pipes
brother.
in that band are amazing. Anybody can front that band with vocally. Seriously, anybody. Because you guys
Right.
are all that great vocally. And you've just been doing it for so many years, man. Longevity is what's key in this music industry, man. And you guys are definitely right at the top of one of the best bands going for locally. So
Thank you,
keep up
brother.
all the good work and keep doing all the great stuff, man. And shout out to everybody out there chiming in. I wish I could see all the comments, but of course,
Yeah, well-
I can't. I suck at this stuff.
Yeah,
No, no.
I'm reading some. I'm reading some.
Can you read them off for me? Can you?
I got it up. Tim Hodge says Jose's not that bad.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't mind. I don't mind.
Shout out to John Stevens out there. John Stevens says you guys are the best. Keep up the great work. So there you go. Lisa Vivacqua, they are the best.
Yes.
Much appreciated. I'm trying to like everything, you know.
Yeah,
And,
I don't see any of that. I'm not sure how to work this here in Zoom.
Yeah, I got my computer set up in front of me. If you see me kind of glance this way, it's just checking comments, you know, trying to keep up with everybody. And yeah, I mean, we're trying to just bring entertainment any way we can to you guys. I mean, I know it's tough. There's only so much of your house you can stare at. So, you know, I mean,
Right.
kind of people are getting lost at Facebook and Netflix and just trying to, like, you know, get through it. So yeah, I mean, we're trying to just
Yeah,
Lower
thank
your
you.
volume.
you got to turn your volume off.
No,
though,
yeah,
Jose.
I was just pulling it up. You know, like I
You
said,
see that we all jumped out of
as Z said at the beginning of this, he basically tried to say that he's not very tech savvy.
I'm not tech savvy.
I'm sitting here right now in my lounge. I'm actually using my iPad, but my iPhone's next to me. My laptop is in front of me, as is my work laptop as well. I could have all these things. It could look like a damn space station in here right now if I felt like it. But you know, I really appreciate everybody. We in the band Showtime, and you know, I'll even go out on a limb and speak for all the musicians in this area when I say thank you all very much for keeping us in your thoughts. And with the messages that we get, you know, we can't wait to see you guys again. We can't wait to hear you guys again. You know, once this is all over, we miss you guys, and we miss you. We miss everybody.
Oh, yeah.
You don't understand how big of a change this has been. We've been playing. Justin, Joe, and I have been when we started together as a three-piece band, as three-peat. We started to that was 26 years ago. We've been doing this for 26 years, and then that rolled right into Showtime, and it's just been nonstop. So this came to a screeching halt. And
Yeah, we've never had this much time
never,
off,
never. You know, listen, for anybody out there, music has been a constant. You can have other jobs. I'm a teacher. I've taught at multiple places over the years. And this job, lost this job because of consolidation, lost this because of cutbacks, this, that, and the other thing. But guess what has been constant? Music and the music business, and musicians and clubs and people needing entertainment for parties and weddings. And you know what? It's going to be there, and it's going to come back.
Yeah,
for sure.
But to think about it like that, you know, when we were in high school starting out, and we had some people, you don't want to get involved in bands. That's no way to, you know, make money or anything. And that's what, guess what? we've proved a handful of people wrong over the years. And we miss everybody so much. I actually posted on Facebook last night. You might think I'm a little bit of a mush when it comes to this, but I posted pictures of Showtime and another band I jam with out of Syracuse called Monkey Fever. And I miss all those guys. I miss these guys so much because we're even if we could drive to each other's houses right now and put on rubber gloves and shake each other's hands. We miss the music. We miss getting together and the camaraderie and what that does and what that means and what that is. That's the tough part about this is that, we can come on here and talk and joke and BS and whatnot. We can do that. But man, there's just nothing like that energy of making music and looking out into a crowd of people and seeing smiles on their faces and them dancing and being joyful. And someone who went to work that day and didn't have the best day at work, but we're able to connect with them and take them out of their funk, even if it's just for a few minutes. You know what I mean, brother? Yeah. That's oh God, it's just so difficult. Last week when it hit the weekend, last week, not this past weekend here, Friday, Saturday, but week before. That was the first weekend that we had to cancel a show because of this. And when it got to Saturday, I'm sitting there, look, huh? What do I do? What do I do? I'm supposed to be loading in right now. I'm supposed to be setting up. I'm supposed to be playing. Where are the guys? Where are you? Where are you? And it's unbelievable. Hey, CJ Vivacqua just chimed in. CJ, yes, I love you. I love you, CJ. I love you. Brian Bird, I want to touch you, Brian Bird. Yeah. I love you. All right.
I got to say, too, keep in mind, everybody out there, that these guys that are doing live shows for you, this is something very, very new for all of us. Yeah. And you might see people turn on the live screen and they just go, because they don't know what to do. They see it's almost like red light thing. They're like staring at it. They're
just
like
that.
Are you there? Are you there?
Guys? I know some people are having Wi-Fi issues. I mean, keep in mind, Spectrum is dealing with an overload of internet surge right now. So I mean, regardless if you like them or not, I mean, a lot of our friends and colleagues are having issues with the Wi-Fi right now. Just be patient with them. Just know that they're trying to get everything working, and this is fresh and new for them too. So
you can go on just right now. It's the Disruption Network Live.
Yeah, my wife. Sorry, that's my wife. No, yeah. Sorry, she wanted to chime in.
That's right.
She was just Ma meatloaf. Stop. Sorry, that's hysterical, man. No, man, that's and you know what? What's great about this too, and I know we're talking about local music. I know we are, and I want to stick to that, and I appreciate I appreciate you giving us time for it. But I just want to chime in and say thank you to all the pros out there that have chimed in on. Elton John hosting a show for people, and Dave Grohl, and like I said, even Neil Diamond chiming in, stuff like that. There's been some real pros out there that have gotten behind this whole virtual thing to throw some entertainment out there, because like you guys mentioned earlier, break up this news feed of negativity. Break it up.
Right, exactly.
Get other stuff in there. It
has to be done.
Get other stuff in there. I'm on one of the groups I'm in on Facebook is a bass guitar group, and they've been challenging you to post pictures of your favorite basses and stuff, and it opens up chats about it and stuff, and it for me, because I'm in there so much, it floods my news feed with that instead of all the negativity. I'm not saying I don't want to know what's going on out there. Of course I do, but there's a time for that, and there's a time to escape from that. And the time to escape from that is when we go to things like Facebook, social media, can message with friends and shoot people messages and joke about stuff. And, if it's all serious like that, man, we're all just gonna, it's gonna be too much.
It's a bottomless pit. It's a bottomless pit for real. I mean, like, you start getting into that and you're just spiraling down and just negative, negative, negative. And it's just not a good place for anybody. You got to stick to positivity and share the love, for real.
Great words, man, for sure. Spread the love. Spread the love, not a virus.
That's right. You said it, brother.
Spread music, man. Spread music.
Now, do me a favor. Say that spread the love thing one more time. I want my wife to hear it because she's using this social distancing crap to stay away from me. This is bull. This is some bullshit. No, 6 feet. 6 feet. 6 feet. And I'm like, whoa, come on now. Give the kid a little hey. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know. I'll tell you. I understand. Come December of this year, there's going to be a baby boom. I know it, but ain't one coming from this house. I'll tell you that.
Hey, Jose.
No, Jose, my mother's like, no, the president said 6 feet. I'm like, get over here.
Jose, 2 things right now. John Stevens says, did you see Todd Lozo's bass? LOL.
Nah, I saw Todd Lozo's bass. He held up a fish.
Bass. Okay.
Well,
yes. I'm in the frame of mind thinking of bass.
Oh, me too.
And your wife just told you to shut it.
Yeah. Oh, I know. She said shut it. Yeah. That's because she's in the other room. I tell you, that's a social distancing. She's in the other room. That's
writing to you.
Yeah. That's it.
Your mouth is not helping your cause.
Hey, listen, ain't nothing gonna help it at this point.
Sure.
Not gonna help it. That's good. I've done everything. She's wily too. She's little. It's tough. Can't corner her. She's quick.
She's actually hanging from the ceiling right now. She's waiting to pounce.
So
hey, Justin, do you plan on going live at all this week? Do you have like a schedule set up, or?
I think I was gonna try like a little later in the week, maybe weekend, to go on by myself. I'm trying, like, the biggest thing is trying, we're all in this together once again. So everybody's trying to fit into a slot, you know what I mean? And just, paying attention to when everybody else is going live so that we're not overlapping, because, everybody wants their chance to be seen and stuff. And so, I'm kind of bowing out for the week as far as I'm concerned, but I'll probably pop back on the weekend at some point.
We are going to try to go live with the 3-piece this week.
The trio.
Cool. With the show. Now that's a little more difficult, obviously, than going live with an acoustic and a voice kind of thing, because the balance on it, the mix that's where it's tough, and so we are talking about that. We haven't nailed it down exactly. As soon as we do, we'll obviously put some messages out there.
For sure.
And hopefully, once again, for me, it's just being able to get out that way and connect with people and whatnot. So, and I hope people just, chime in and say hey, and if they want to listen for a few, we'll probably put a set worth out there. That's the trio. That's a Showtime trio. We've been doing that on the side for the last 3-4 years or so. Justin, Joe, and I. And we've been having fun with it. I mean, when we can't book Showtime, if we're on an off night, something like that, we plug that in someplace, and people have been responding pretty well to it. It's fun. Started off as a blues trio. We started off as a Showtime blues trio because we just sort of wanted to get back to the roots, and then it sort of opened up. We started wanting to play some other stuff that wasn't necessarily blues. And so we just sort of said, okay, let's just call it the Showtime trio. And then, so we don't just play Showtime's list stripped down. We don't do that.
Right.
You might hear a song if you listen to us for a whole night, you might hear a couple songs that Showtime plays, but in 3-piece form. But most of the stuff that we do with that group is all stuff we learned just for the trio. Black Crowes, and like I said, blues stuff. So B.B. King, Eric Clapton, and all that stuff. It's fun. It's fun. We're having a good time with it.
Jose, are you one to sit around the house and just start playing bass? Are you always playing, or when you're home, you don't even look at the thing?
Yes.
There it is.
Yeah, those aren't back there. Those aren't back there because I did not position those to be there for the shot. I was actually playing earlier. We were joking about playing Little Miss Can't Be Wrong by the Spin Doctors. So I was actually going through that bass line a little bit earlier. And yeah, no, absolutely. I have a station actually not usually set up in here, but in the other room that I sit down and just, you know, thump thumpity thump thump thumpity thump thump. And yeah, I will play. And this, I'm going to tell you too, here's a little advice to any musicians out there that are in this situation right now. Practice, practice, practice. Okay.
Now's the time. Too.
Preach.
Practice is what you do on your own while you are alone. Rehearse is what you do when you get together with other musicians. Okay. So practice at home. We should all be woodshedding right now if you have time. If you don't have time, if you're a lucky person who's still working and stuff, and you're, you know, you got little munchkins running around the house because they can't be in school. I understand. Oh, that's totally understood. Totally understood. But if you have time right now and you're going, geez, what could I be doing? And you're a guitar player or a bass player, a drummer, keyboard player, and you can do it. Oh my gosh, do it. Get on, watch videos, pull up Joe Rossi. Right now, Joe is offering lessons and stuff, and other people are offering lessons online. Go do it. Learn something new. Challenge yourself. Do not just play the same songs over and over that you already know because you know them so well that they make you feel good about you. I call that musical masturbation. That's what I call that. It's musical masturbation.
Yeah.
All right, you just playing something to make you feel good. Forget that.
I love it.
There's a couple people on right now that want us to do it too, but it's tough on when we're apart like this to get it to line up. You know what I mean? Like I think you'd see a lot more bands doing it like this if they could, but the latency there's too much latency, too much time that, you know, we wouldn't be able to line it up. So although it would be fun.
Yeah, I see Mel ask for a song. I really wish we could, girl. I really wish we could. Polly, you can shut up. That's how I'm gonna tell Polly. Polly, he can shut his cake.
Yeah,
hole.
but he said earlier he missed us, so he's being nice. He's being
I
nice.
don't care if he misses because he misses us because
Polly's our sound man.
Polly's our sound man, but he misses us because he's in love with us because he likes yeah.
Do you guys have nicknames for each other?
Do we? Yes.
I don't know if we all know what each other's nicknames is from everybody else.
Asshole.
Sure.
You know.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. You know, and they're all inside jokes. They're all inside jokes. So if you heard them, we'd have to go through each story and as to where they came from. And
absolutely.
You know what? Let me tell the Doug story real quick. Okay.
Of course.
All right. So and I'm doing this because I know our keyboard player, Mike Morrow, is not on Facebook or anything, so he will probably not see this. Our keyboard player, Mike, his nickname is Douglas. His nickname, Doug. And people, when we'll call him Doug, what's Doug? And he'll go, what? So where did he get Doug? Okay, so we're playing one night out in Syracuse, and we were very fortunate to have a wonderful guitar player, keyboard player, singer named Doug Moncrief sat in with us. Todd Hoban band, famous Todd Hoban band and whatnot. And God rest him. He passed away a while back. God bless him. Well, we were very fortunate to have Doug come sit in with us and play a song. And so we introduced him. He played, you know, he walked off stage, you know. So a little while later, we had a friend of ours, Bruce Peterson. Bruce had been playing bass with the band Primetime, and at the time, and we said, Bruce, come on up and play a song. So Bruce came up, play a song, and he came up, he played the song. He went to leave the stage, and Mikey, our keyboard player, goes, "Nice job, Doug." And I looked at him, and I was on the microphone. I said, "You know that's Bruce, right?" And he goes, "Oh yeah, Bruce." So after that, it was like it became a hey, nice job, Doug, to everybody, and then of course, so now we just call him Doug.
Yeah, his name is Doug.
But in a loving way, because obviously that goofiness also every time we chime in with Doug, it does bring up the memory of Doug Moncrief, a wonderful player and a great, even better person. So there you go, Doug. So all of our nicknames are stuff like that. So if you hear it, you might not go, huh? You know, but and they're not all as easy to explain. And a lot of times we can't say them because you can't say things like that.
You know what's going to be funny right now is that Mike's not on Facebook. So when some of these people are going to come up and start calling him Doug, he's gonna be like, how do they know?
Yeah. Where'd you hear that?
That's hilarious. Well, you know, Local Music Monday is off to a great start, Justin. This is going to be fun, man. I'm looking forward to doing this every Monday with you.
Absolutely,
so,
me too.
Do you got somebody lined up for next week?
Not yet, Jose. You recommend anybody? You wanna pass the torch to the next person?
It's tough to follow me, man. I mean, you don't want to follow me.
Well, we're setting the bar high, you know.
You don't want to follow me with women. You don't want to follow me in a buffet. You don't want to follow me. No, I'm just kidding. You know what? There are just so many. There are so many great people in our business around here that you could get to chime in. And you know, I mean, obviously, one who always is connected with a lot of things going on locally is Tim Moyer. You guys know Tim is always.
Oh yeah,
that needs to happen.
He's always connected with everything, with everybody. He, besides playing in bands, he's booking bands. He's doing, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So Tim's always a great way to go. He's always a great guy to have on and chime in. And you know, if you have him, you know, Jeff's gonna want to chime in too, and that's just gonna create some straight comedy right there.
Yeah, we might not be able to
100%.
talk at all at that point.
Yeah. You know what you can do is have both of them.
Both of them on at the same time.
Oh, that could get brutal. You could start a family rift with that puppy.
Sure. Well, you know, I think maybe we should start doing that. Z, like every Monday when we talk to somebody, having see who they'd want on next week. You know what I mean? So I'll get a hold of Tim. I'll see if he can pop on, and we got next Monday's guest, if you will. You know.
Yeah. Well, and if they're not available, obviously, like I said, there's just so many great musicians out there, so many people, and not just musicians either. See if you could chime in. Maybe get some club owners in here. To talk what they are going through and how they feel. And I know a couple of them I've already talked to. They cannot wait for this to be over and to get music going again in their clubs and stuff like that. And we appreciate that because we know that when this is all said and done, we're just going to want to start playing again. We are just going to want to get going again. And
everybody, right.
Yeah. We know that it might take some people getting back out there, getting back used to things, whatnot, when it all starts to clear up. But we got a lot of support out there from the communities. People we know they want to get out now. So imagine in a week or two or whenever this starts to turn for the better, they're going to be anxious to get out there. So that'd be a good thing too. And to see if we can get some people from other, not just the musicians, but the club owners and the agents, whoever else is out there that you can think of. But
everybody's definitely taking a hit from this for sure. That's for sure. So, Jose, thanks for your time today, brother. It was good hanging with you. And,
man. Thank you.
Hopefully we'll see you soon, and I'll get that Gorilla Monsoon hug from you.
Bear hugs, baby. Bear hugs, baby. Yeah.
Much love to EJA Moving Services, Utica Hemp, Utica Coffee, Saranac, and my good friend, attorney Dave Longaretta. Also, shout out to everybody that donated to our Venmo. Also, everybody that donated to Justin's Venmo and his PayPal account as well. Make sure you keep an eye out. Justin Smithson is going to be live all throughout the week here and there. So check your local social media listings, and hopefully soon we'll see the Showtime trio out there too, virtually, if you will. So it's going to be good. Guys, thanks again so much, and we'll see you tomorrow. Hey, I want to make mention too before we get out of here, Ryan Montbleu is going to be on the podcast Wednesday. I'm psyched about that.
Oh, sick.
So if you guys got any questions for Montbleu, hit me up with some comments. And
thanks,
share
everybody.
This video. Thanks,
We'll
everybody.
Peace.
Time.
Thanks a lot.
Later.